At my brother's engagement party, I announced a gift, $10,000 toward their new luxury car. He laughed and said, "Make it $20,000 if you want an invite." I smiled, canceled the payment on my phone, and looked him in the eye. "Start packing," I said. "You have 30 days. Then I handed him a formal eviction notice in front of 40 guests. "Come on, Daniel." My brother Mike laughed again, trying to play it off. "Make it $20,000 if you want an invite." Everyone around us, chuckled our cousins, his fiancé's friends. I felt my face get hot, the sting of being mocked in front of everyone, but I didn't flinch, I just smiled. That same polite smile I'd worn for years, the one I'd learned to use as a mask. I had just announced the gift a few minutes earlier. $10,000. I saved up for it, hoping to support them, to do something kind. But Mike never saw kindness. He saw it as something he could take advantage of. His fiancée, Sarah, tried to laugh it off, whispering, "Oh Mike, stop, he's joking." But Mike wasn't joking, not at all. Across the room, my dad raised his glass, and added, "That's right, Danny boy, always trying to buy your way into things. Some things never change." He smiled, but there was no warmth in it. My mom just stared at her wine, pretending she didn't hear. That's what she always did, pretend nothing was wrong. I'd carried this weight for years. I helped them when Dad lost his job, paid for Mom's medical bills, gave Mike loans during college that he never repaid. I was always the fixer, the wallet, the fool, but not tonight. "You're right, Mike," I said, keeping my voice calm. $10,000 isn't enough." I pulled out my phone and canceled the payment. The room went quiet. Mike's smile faded, his laugh stopped. His friends looked at each other, confused. "You what?" he asked, suddenly unsure of himself. I canceled the payment. Then I turned toward the big white screen that was set up for their engagement slideshow, but I had other plans. I tapped my phone and brought up something else. Text messages from Mike appeared on the screen. "I don't even want him here, but Mom's making me invite him. Once he pays for the car, we'll just ghost him again. Honestly, he's pathetic. I'd feel bad, but free money, right?" The silence in the room grew heavier. Mike turned pale. Sarah let go of his arm, stunned. Gasps spread around the room. My mom reached out, like she wanted to stop me. "Daniel," but I didn't stop. Not this time. "I'm done, Mike," I said loudly. "Done being your wallet. Done being your fool." I pulled a white envelope from my jacket. "This is your 30-day eviction notice. You and Sarah need to move out of my apartment by the end of the month." Mike looked shocked. "You can't do this." "I can, and I just did." I placed the envelope next to their champagne glasses. "Congratulations on your engagement," I said, letting some of the hurt show. "But this is the last time you use me." And then I walked out. 40 people stood there, completely silent. Their perfect night, ruined. I wish I could say it ended there, that they left me alone. But my family doesn't go away quietly. They regroup. They come back harder. The next morning, I got a text from my mom. "How could you humiliate us like that? We're family, Daniel. Family." I didn't respond. 10 minutes later, another message came in. "Your brother is devastated. Sarah's family is furious. You need to apologize. Fix this." By the time I poured my coffee, my phone was blowing up. Missed calls from my dad. A dozen messages from Mike, some begging, some angry. "You ruined everything. You're a jealous little snake. I'll never forgive you." I didn't reply. And that just made them angrier. Then they took it public. My mom was the first. She posted on Facebook, "Family isn't about blood. It's about loyalty. Some people need to remember that." The comments came fast. Distant relatives chimed in. Aunts and uncles dropped heart emojis. Only one person asked what really happened. That comment disappeared within minutes. Then Mike's friends jumped in. His best friend Josh posted a story. "Some people just love ruining other people's happiness." Sad. Sarah didn't stay quiet either. On Instagram, she posted a crying photo with the caption, "The deepest betrayal always comes from family." I stared at the screen, feeling a cold burn rise in my chest. Still, I didn't respond. Not yet. That night, my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number at first, but the name clicked. Tom, Sarah's brother. We hadn't spoken in years, but we'd always been cool. I picked up. "Daniel," he said, his voice tight. "I need to know the truth. About Mike. What happened?" I paused. Then I told him everything. The money, the texts. The way Mike laughed at me, used me, bragged behind my back. There was silence on the line. I knew it, Tom finally said. I've seen texts too. He was trying to hook up with 2 of Sarah's bridesmaids. I gripped the phone tighter. Are you serious? Dead serious? Tom snapped. And I'm done watching Sarah get played. I'm telling her everything. I didn't stop him. Why would I? But I didn't expect how fast it would all fall apart. The next day, Sarah's Instagram was gone. Her profile photo was blank. Her Facebook deactivated. Then came the chaos in our family group chat. Mom. Daniel, what did you do? Sarah broke off the engagement. Dad, you've gone too far. You destroyed your brother's life. Mike, you're nothing but a fraud. I'll make you pay for this. But I didn't destroy anything. Mike did. I just had the proof. I opened my laptop and logged into the cloud account linked to the security camera in my apartment, the one Mike and Sarah had been living in for free. It didn't take long to find the clip. Mike, in the living room, laughing with 2 friends. Whiskey in hand. Daniel is way too trusting, Mike said, slurring slightly. He thinks he's being the good big brother, paying for everything. What a joke, his friend laughed. He won't find out you used his rent money on that watch, right? Mike grinned. Even if he does, he'll just give some guilt trip and pay it off. Like always. I downloaded the video, saved a backup. Then I opened another folder, my receipts. Rent payments, bills, transfers, over $40,000 in the past 3 years. I gathered everything, texts, payments, the video. It wasn't about revenge. It was about telling the truth, about taking off the mask Mike wore for everyone else. My phone buzzed again. Dad, you think you're some kind of hero. Better than us. I looked at the message, and for the first time in years, I smiled. I opened Facebook, went to my profile, and started typing. Family isn't about loyalty, it's about respect. And respect is earned. I attached the video of Mike laughing, screenshots of the texts, the payment receipts. Then I hit post. The reaction was instant. Comments exploded. Relatives tagging each other. Friends messaging me. Some were shocked. Some were supportive. Tom, Sarah's brother, liked the post. Then he commented, "You did the right thing. They needed to see the truth." But my family, they went nuclear. My mom called, screaming through the phone. "How could you do this? How could you shame your own brother?" My dad's text came next, barely readable. "Take it down now or I swear you'll regret this." And Mike. He called again, and again, and again. When I didn't answer, he finally sent one last message. "You think this is over? You have no idea how far I'll go." I leaned back in my chair. And for the first time in a long time, I felt calm. They wanted a fight. They had no idea how ready I was. I was still reading my dad's angry message when my phone rang again. My mom. For a second, I almost ignored it. But a part of me wanted to hear her voice, to see if she was still pretending, still covering for them. I picked up. "Daniel," she said, her voice soft. "Too soft. Can we talk? Just us, please." I sighed, already feeling the weight of what was coming. "Talk about what? That I'm a traitor? That I destroyed Mike's perfect life?" "No," she whispered. "Not like that. I don't want to fight. Please, there's a little cafe by my yoga studio. Can you meet me there? Just talk." I hesitated. Then nodded, even though she couldn't see it. "Fine, I'll be there." The yoga studio was peaceful. All glass walls and soft music. I stood outside, watching her move through slow, graceful poses. She looked calm, like nothing had happened. But my phone in my pocket told a different story. The video of Mike mocking me, the texts, the cheating, the threats. She stepped outside, smiling like everything was fine, dabbing her forehead with a towel. "Thank you for coming." We walked to the cafe next door. It was quiet and full of plants. She ordered a green smoothie. I got black coffee. "I'm glad you're here, Daniel," she said, her voice soft. "I just want us to understand each other. I want to fix this." I leaned forward. "How do you fix something that's always been broken? Please," she whispered. "Don't be like this. Mike's hurting," she continued. "Your father is furious. Everything's out of control." "You mean, now that I'm not the puppet anymore?" I asked. Her face dropped. "It's not about sides, Daniel. It's about family." I let out a bitter laugh. "Family? You mean the same people who mocked me? Used me? Tried to turn everyone against me the second I stopped being their ATM?" "Daniel, please," she said, her voice shaking. I'm trying to make peace. Then the door opened. And just like that, peace was gone. Mike walked in, smug as ever. Behind him, Dad. The look on his face said it all. Trouble. My mom's eyes widened. You two weren't supposed to save it, Mom, Mike cut in, pulling out a chair. We figured this little heart-to-heart could use some truth. Dad sat down beside me, his stare cold. Let's get this straight, Danny, he growled. You've embarrassed this family enough. I glanced at Mom. Her calm mask was gone. All that was left was panic. What? Mike sneered. Nothing to say now. Mr. Truth-teller, out of stories. I took a sip of coffee, steady and calm. Stories. Like the one where you bragged about using me. Or the one where you told Sarah's friends she was too stupid to see what you were doing. Mike's smirk cracked, but he kept his act up. Shut up. No one believes you. I don't care who believes me, I said, my voice steady. I care about the truth. Dad leaned in, his voice low and full of venom. The truth is, you're a selfish little brat who turned on his own family. You think you're better than us? I met his eyes. No, I just think I'm done with your games. Mike scoffed, shaking his head. Games, dude, you've always been a joke. A desperate little loser trying to buy respect. I smiled, quietly. Maybe, but at least I'm not the one pretending anymore. I smiled. A joke. I pulled out my phone, tapped a few buttons, and the big TV in the kafatha one they usually used for yoga tutorials flickered on. Mike's voice blasted through the speakers. Daniel is always so naive. He thinks helping us means he belongs. It's honestly disappointing. The room went dead quiet. Heads turned. My mom's hand flew to her mouth. On screen, Mike sat in my apartment, laughing, drinking with his friends. And Sarah. She's a clueless fool. She actually thinks I'm serious about her. Dude, I've got 2 of her bridesmaids lined up already. Mike lunged forward, face red with rage. Turn that off. Don't touch me, he shouted, voice cracking. But I stayed calm. I pulled up the next file screenshots of his texts, the ones where he called me a walking wallet, where he laughed about the money I spent on his car, his rent, his debts. Lies, he screamed. You edited those. I didn't edit this, I said. I hit play on an audio file. My father's voice came through, cold and clear. He's weak. Just press him enough and he'll give in. He always does. Dad's face turned pale. You were recording me. No, I said. But you're too dumb to know how phones work. My mom reached out, eyes full of tears. Daniel, please, stop, please. But I wasn't done. I turned to Mike. You think you're smart. You're a coward who hides behind lies. You can't even own your words. I looked at my dad. And you only ever cared about control, not love, not family. Then I looked at my mom. And you never stood up for me. Not once. She sobbed quietly. Please, stop, ... But it was too late. The truth was out. Mike's face twisted with rage. You'll regret this. You're so selfish. All you think about is yourself. He stepped toward me, but the manager blocked him. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Get off me. Mike snapped, but the manager held firm. Dad stood up, his knees shaking. This isn't how you treat family, Daniel. I stared him down. No, this is exactly how you treat family, when family is poison. I grabbed my coat, slid my phone into my pocket, and walked out. I didn't look back. Not at their shock. Not at their shouting. Not at the mess I left behind. When the door closed behind me, the cold air hit my face, and for the first time in years, I could breathe. At home, the silence was warm. No shouting, no guilt, just the soft hum of the fridge and rain tapping at the window. I set my phone on the counter. I waited. It didn't take long. Dad, you've ruined this family. This is on you. Mom, please. Daniel, he's your brother. Can't you just let it go? Mike, you always hide behind other people. You think this is over? You won't forget this. I sipped my cold coffee. Didn't feel anger. Just calm. They were right. This wasn't over. But it would be soon. I opened my laptop, pulled up the folder, my war chest, screenshots, bank transfers, audio files, the video of Mike laughing about how I was his personal ATM. I knew what I had to do. An hour later, I was sitting across from Sarah, my old college friend, now a sharp no-nonsense attorney. She flipped through the evidence. Her face went from curious to shocked. then furious. Daniel, she said. This is solid. We can sue them fraud, unjust enrichment. You'll win. I nodded. Good. I want every cent back. The lawsuit hit them like a wrecking ball. Mom called first, crying, Daniel, please, you can't do this. We're family. No, we're not, I replied. Family doesn't use each other. Then I hung up. Dad came next. Same old routine. You think you're tough. Suing your own family. A judge will laugh you out of the room. No, I said. He'll laugh at you. Because you're going to lose. And Mike. He tried to bark. Fine, I'll pay you back. Just drop the case. I laughed. With what? The money you wasted on watches. Or the car you couldn't afford. Silence. That silence said everything. I needed to hear it. In the courtroom, the truth was a sledgehammer. My lawyer laid everything out. The money I spent on Mike's rent, his car, the loans, all the broken promises. Then we played the video Mike, laughing with his friends, bragging about how I was too trusting. How I'd always pay. He squirmed in his chair, his face pale. Mom sat behind him, dabbing tears. Dad stared straight ahead, jaw clenched like stone. Mike's lawyer tried to argue I gave the money freely, but Sarah shut that down cold. Helping a family member is one thing. Being manipulated, lied to, and financially drained is another. This isn't generosity. This is fraud. Then came the audio Dad's voice. Just press him enough and he'll give. He always does. The judge's face changed. And then the gavel came down. I rule in favor of the plaintiff. Michael Connor is ordered to repay $43,000 in full to Daniel Connor, plus damages for emotional distress. The court finds this was a clear abuse of trust. Mike's mouth opened and closed, like a fish gasping for air. Dad's knuckles turned white. I stood, and I breathed. Free. The fallout was instant. Mike called, begged to make a deal. Blocked. Dad left a voicemail, full of rage. Deleted. Mom came to my door, pounding. Please, Daniel. We can fix this. Please. I watched her through the peephole, didn't open it, didn't speak. I walked away. They tried to rally the family. A few cousins messaged me. Think about what you're doing. I did. I moved on. I heard Mike had to sell the car, the one Sarah's family helped him get. Dad even tried to pull from his retirement fund. Still wasn't enough. They cried financial hardship. My lawyer didn't flinch. Your son funded your lifestyle while you mocked him. Now it's your turn to pay. The first payment landed a month later. Cold, automated, quiet, but it felt like peace. I didn't waste it. I cleared the rest of my student loans, put some in savings, bought a reliable new car, got a gym membership, focused on me. The best part. The silence. No more guilt trips, no more screaming voicemails, no more pretending I was the problem. One afternoon, I saw Sarah at a cafe. She smiled, waved me over. I'm sorry, she said, eyes warm. A little sad. You don't owe me an apology, I said. We talked for a while. She told me she left Mike for good. Moved on. She was doing better. I told her the same, and I meant it. But when I walked away, there was a quiet ache in my chest. Winning didn't feel like a celebration. It felt like mourning something I'd fought so hard to save. That night, in my quiet apartment, I opened a new doc on my laptop, and I wrote a letter. Not to them. To me. Dear Daniel, you are not a wallet. You are not a punching bag. You are not their savior. You are you, and you are finally free. I saved it. Closed the laptop. Smiled. The rain tapped against the window. But this time, it wasn't a storm.